3. Faced with death, Gajendra remembers a prayer that he chanted in his previous life. He helplessly prays to be free from the material conception of life and to be engaged in the Lord's loving service. So demigods and demons now, here they are, they're churning the ocean of milk, and Shiva has appeared to drink the poison. And guess what the poison is? I had a class with an Ayurvedic doctor, and he said the poison is allopathic medicine, and the nectar is Ayurvedic medicine. So Dhanvantari comes with a nectar here. This is the Ayurvedic medicine that we have today. So what lessons do we learn here? No, I don't have anything. We'll see chapter 9. When the churning produces nectar, the demon sees it. Just then, Mohini Murti, an extraordinarily beautiful young lady, appears before them. The demons become captivated by her beauty, and she asks them for the nectar, so they give it to her to distribute. Mohini Murti, who is Vishnu in disguise, then has the demigods and demons sit in different lines before she distributes the nectar. Knowing the demons are unfit to drink it, she cheats them and distributes it all to the demigods. So what was the lesson we learned from Gajendra? Yeah? Okay. Yes. He was saved from his material miseries and he was liberated also. Okay. So then, 8th Canto Part 2, we have 3 sections, the Manus, Bali Maharaj, and Vamanadev, and Matsya Avatar. So there's 14 Manus, and they're mostly described here. We had a few in the beginning of 8th Canto. Is that here? What is it? Outside? Okay. Now they will start construction. And then Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev. We have a really good lesson here from Bali Maharaj. He stands for the truth. Even though he's cursed, he's unfairly chastised, he's arrested, he's insulted, but he doesn't deviate from the truth. And because of that, Vamanadev becomes Bali's doorman. Here he's arresting him, but then he took Vamanadev's foot on his head. So then, last one, Matsya Avatar. Huge, huge fish. And he's worshipped by Satyavrat. Satyavrat became Shadadev Manu in this life, in this birth. He's Manu. He's our Manu. Yes, Shadadev Manu. Okay, so we're going to Canto 9. Suryavangsha, we have, so first part of Canto 9, 9th Canto Part 1 is the Suryavangsha. So here we have Ambarish and we have Ram, Surya. And the first child of Manu was actually transgender, half male, half female. So I'll read here what it says. Sudyumna, son of Vaivashvata, is born as a girl, then transformed into a boy by the prayers of Vashishta. Then he's later changed into a girl again when he enters the valley of Lord Shiva. Finally, by Shiva's grace, he's allowed for the rest of his life to alternate between being a man 1 month and a woman the next. So very difficult. And this child is the mother of the Moon dynasty. So she married to Soma, the moon, and they had the Moon dynasty. Or anyway, yes. Ila, as the girl, she was the mother of the Moon dynasty. But she's the first child of the Sun dynasty. And so, yes. Now, let's see. Maharaj Ambarish. So here he is. Durvasa was angry with him, and a big demon came out, and he was going to attack, but the Lord sent his Sudarshan chakra to protect Ambarish. And the lesson we learned from Ambarish is we should depend on the Lord for protection and be careful of Vaishnava aparad. Don't make offenses to devotees like Durvasa did. I'll read chapter 5. Even Lord Vishnu cannot protect Durvasa Muni from the scorching heat of the Sudarshan disc. So Durvasa returns to Maharaj Ambarish and falls at his feet. Maharaj Ambarish, being naturally weak and humble, feels shy and ashamed to see Durvasa Muni at his feet. He offers prayers to the chakra to save Durvasa. So that's this picture. And here's Durvasa Muni at Ambarish's feet. Durvasa was very proud. He's a great yogi. He could go even to the Vaikuntha, but he was no match for a pure devotee. And Ambarish didn't do anything. He just depended on Krishna. He just stood there and said, okay, you want to kill me? Fine. So Suryavansha. Now the second section we have, of course, Lord Ram. Section 2, Ram. Here's Sita Ram, Hanuman, Lakshman. Oh, there's the deer. That's not good. Sita will have them go get the deer for her. Yes. And then in this chapter, Bhagirath brings the Ganga River down in this chapter 9. I'll read chapter 9. Amshuman's grandson Bhagirath undergoes severe austerities and pleases Mother Ganges and Lord Shiva. So Shiva agrees to check the force of the Ganges when she descends to this world. King Bhagirath brings the Ganges to the place where he found the ashes of his forefathers. Simply by their ashes being sprinkled with Ganges water, which can deliver all fallen souls, his forefathers become eligible to go to the heavenly planets. Okay, what lessons did we learn? Oh, wait, Lord Ram. There's a lesson from Ram he showed by his life. Virtue must conquer over vice. And if you become Ram's devotee, you can live happily in this world and the next. Okay. Sunny, what lesson from Canto 9, Part 1? We should not offend devotees. And what else did we learn from Maharaj Ambarish? Depend on the Lord for protection. Right. Yes? Careful of Vaishnava Parat. Correct. And what do we learn from Lord Ram? I just told you 2 minutes ago. Yes. Very good. Yes, we should be devotees of Ram, Krishna. Okay. Ninth Canto, Part 2 is here. This is now Somavangsha. This is Parshuram is here in the first section. And Krishna. Krishna is born in the Somavangsha. Somavangsha. So, Parshuram is a great warrior, and he kills the Kshatriyas 21 times. And then Krishna is born here in this part, and which leads to 10th canto. So yeah, this is the 10th canto. We do have a poster of this, Braja. Yeah. So this is the first 40 chapters of 10th canto, Braja Leela of Krishna. And it starts with the birth of Krishna, and also you can look up there and see. It goes around here. Then Komara Lila. These are all chapters of Krishna book, 10th canto. Then Pauganda Lila. And then Kaishar Lila. So you can see, this poster is in the book. You can also see it up here. Now we're coming to Krishna's smiling face. On the body of Krishna, we have different places. So, let's see. What do we learn here? Oh, when you see there's Putana. Putana comes to attack Krishna. Over here. And we learn that Krishna is God even when he's a baby. He doesn't have to meditate. He doesn't have to do anything. He's God from his infancy. He was only 3 months old, or maybe less, when Putana came. I think he was only a new baby. He was like 10 days old when Kamsa sent Putana. 3 months was Shakatashara. So yeah, he would, and he's God already. He could kill this big demon. Now that's the first lesson, that he's God from birth. Chapter 9. Again and again, Yashoda tries to bind naughty Krishna, and again, the additional rope she gathers prove too short by 2 fingers. She becomes so fatigued that Krishna relents, allows himself to be bound by her pure devotion. So, lesson from Yashoda. This is up here. The lesson we learn here is that you need mercy along with your endeavor. Your endeavor and also mercy together. Now we're going to Pauganda Lila. From age of 6. And Brahma steals the calves and cowherd boys, but Krishna expands into new boys and calves to please his devotees who wanted him as their child. When a full year has passed, Brahma returns and sees Krishna is still playing with his friends and calves. He becomes completely bewildered. So now the lesson here is when Krishna appeared before Brahma, all the cowherd boys and calves turned into Vishnu forms, and they were smiling. And there's a lesson here. In the glance came desires for devotional service. So if you go to the temple and you see the deity and he glances at you, you will get desires to do devotional service. And from the smile, those spiritual desires are protected. So that's a lesson. The smile, the glance creates. It's like creation, like motive passion. It creates desires. And the smile is like motive goodness. It protects those desires. Okay, so let's see, we'll read chapter 25. Angered, Indra tries to destroy Vrindavan with rainstorms. With one hand, Krishna picks up Govardhan Hill, which is touching the clouds, and holds it up as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. So that's somewhere over here, Govardhan Puja. And 32. Krishna appears in the midst of the gopis who have become extremely disturbed by separation from him. After he consoles them, they express to him their deep feelings of ecstasy. One gopi grasps his hands, another places his arm upon her shoulder, another accepts the remnants of betel nuts he has chewed. Thus, they serve him. So this is the Kaishar Lila here we have on the outside. Okay, so one last lesson in this Kaishar Lila. People might criticize Krishna, why he's dancing with others' wives. But the lesson is we should not criticize Krishna when he dances with the gopis. There's no lust involved. And actually, Krishna is the husband of everyone. So we cannot criticize Krishna for dancing with his own prakriti, his own energy, his own wives. So what lessons did we learn in this first section here? Yes? He's God from infancy. Yeah, he didn't have to meditate to become God. Any other? Yes? Glance creates desire, smile protects those desires. Good. Good. Any other lessons? Yes. If you want to be successful in devotional service, you need endeavor combined with mercy of Krishna. Good. Okay, any other lesson? Yes? Mercy along with endeavor. Correct, correct. Okay. Yes? He dances with his own energy, so you cannot criticize him. Okay. Now we're going to Dwarka Lila. And this is also a poster in the book. I can find it. Dwarka. Yeah. This is another poster in the book. Yeah. Mathura and Dwarka Lila. So, Krishna has gone to Mathura, but he did not forget the residents of Vrindavan. So he sends Uddhava with a message to the gopis. So I'll read chapter 47. Reading Lord Krishna's message, Uddhava tells the gopis, I am the supreme soul and supreme shelter of all. I am indeed most dear to you, gopis, but to increase your attraction for me and intensify your remembrance of me, I left you. After all, when a woman's beloved is far away, she fixes her mind upon him constantly. By incessantly remembering me, you are sure to attain my association without delay. So the lesson here is that if we want to get relief from separation from Krishna, we should read Srimad Bhagavatam. Read Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Now, in Dwarka Lila, at the end, Narada Muni visits all the palaces of Krishna. And the interesting thing about his visit is that he goes within 1 minute, he goes to all the 16,000 palaces. He's a fast traveler. And at every palace, it's a different time zone. One palace, it's breakfast time. Another palace, it's lunch. Another palace, they're going to sleep. 16,108 time zones. We only have 24, but this is the spiritual world. So, the lesson we learn is that time is ever present. It's always present in the spiritual world. And another lesson is that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. There's no comparison to Krishna. So anybody remember the first lesson from here? There was. Yeah, here's Srimad Bhagavatam to get relief from separation. Good. So 10th Canto, Part 3. It's Dwarka and beyond. Here's Sudama being worshipped by Krishna. Krishna never forgets his friends, even when he's enjoying his opulence. And what we learn from Sudama's relationship with Krishna is that Krishna only wants our love. He doesn't care about the thing, because he was offering something which was below standard. But the devotion is what's most important when you do your offering. So that's the lesson here. Sudama had devotion. He only wants our love. And then the last part, Krishna takes Arjuna on a journey beyond the causal ocean to Lord Vishnu. To Lord Vishnu. And so there's 5 lessons at the end of the 10th canto. Five special glories of Krishna. His reputation eclipsed that of the Ganges River. 2, Krishna gave liberation not only to his devotees but also to the demons. 3, Lakshmi could not join the rasa dance. And 4, the name Krishna is superior to the name Narayana and all other names. And 5, Krishna reinstated dharma, the bull of religion. So what other lesson did we learn here from this 10th canto, part 3? Sudama. He wants the devotion. He wants our love. Okay, so now we're going to canto 11, Uddhava Gita, but the first part is all about Lord Chaitanya. So I'll read chapter 3. In answer to 4 questions asked by Nimi, the Yogendras described the nature and activities of the illusory energy, method of becoming free, and the transitional situation of Lord Narayan. But actually, the most important chapter in here is about Lord Chaitanya, chapter 5. In Kali Yuga, the Lord appears in a golden form, accompanied by associates who are his primary and secondary limbs and his weapons. He's absorbed in Krishna Kirtan and is worshipped by Sankirtan Yagya. So here we have the Panchatattva. Lesson here is we should worship Lord Chaitanya in Kali Yuga. Then we go to the 24 gurus here. The 24 gurus are things of this world. I'll read chapter 7. To pacify Uddhava, Lord Krishna describes an ancient conversation between a Brahmin Avadut and King Yadu. The Avadut received instructions from 24 gurus. From the mountain and the tree, he learned how to serve others and how to dedicate one's whole life to others' benefit. From the sun, he learned how to avoid entanglement while in contact with sense objects. From fire, he learned how to devour things without becoming dirty, and how to destroy all inauspicious desires of those who make offerings to him. From the pigeon, he learned that excessive affection and attachment are not good. From water, he learned how to be naturally clear and purifying. So the lesson here is that we should see the objects of this world as our shiksha gurus. Don't see them as sense objects. Usually people, when they look at the world, they think, oh, how can I enjoy this, this, this? No, we should see them as our gurus, the water, the land, everything we should see as our guru. Okay, was there another lesson here? What was the first lesson? Worship Lord Chaitanya. Good. Okay. And the second lesson? Yes, objects of this world are our shiksha gurus. Okay. 11 part 2. So here we have Ashtanga Yoga and Varnashram. And we have yoga processes here. This is all Uddhava Gita. We have deity worship here. Jnana, Vairagya, Jnana, Bhakti. And then the destruction, Krishna leaves the planet. And the Yadus are destroyed. So, I'll read chapter 20. The human body is like a boat. Gurudev is the helmsman, and Lord's mercy is a favorable breeze. If a person who has attained such a rare boat does not desire to cross the ocean of material existence, he's a killer of the soul. So at the end, we learn a very valuable lesson. Krishna says to Uddhava, just use this body, give your body to me, and I will give you myself. So it's a good deal. What is the use of this body? Very, very useless. But if we engage in service, it becomes very valuable. We engage in service. If we connect it to Krishna, then the purpose of the body is fulfilled, and that's the lesson here. So the last section, disappearance of Krishna and the yadus, is there. So you probably can remember that lesson, right? I just told you. Give your body to Krishna, and he will give you himself. Good trade. Okay, last one, 12th canto. Kali Yuga, Annihilation, Markandeya Rishi, and Srimad Bhagavatam glories. So Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. There is one good thing, and that is Harinam Sankirtan. And here we have the boat of ISKCON. Now read chapter 3. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, but it possesses one great quality. Simply by chanting the name of Krishna, one can be delivered from material association, attain the absolute truth. So this is the first lesson. Chant Hare Krishna to be free of the miseries of Kali. Take advantage of the Sankirtan movement. Then section 2 is annihilation here. And Parikshit is bitten by the snake bird and leaves his body. And Shiva is one type of annihilation at the end of the universe. There's actually 4 types of annihilation. There is Prakritika, which is just temporary at the end of Brahma's day. And then there's the Naimitika, which is the end of everything, at the end of the life of Brahma. The whole universe is destroyed, becomes a manifest. And then there's a constant annihilation, that our body is always constantly, cells are dying. So there's a constant annihilation going on. You know, flowers, they grow and then they become annihilated. They grow and then they start wilting. So this is constant annihilation. And final annihilation is when you go back to Godhead. That's the best one. When everything is finished, all the annihilations, this universe is finished, and you go back to Godhead. Okay, so that's yes, you can remember these types of annihilation. There are 4 types. During one of these, Lord Shiva dances, his Tandava Nitya, the dance of dissolution. Universe fills with fire. Later, the planets are inundated. So here we see Lord Shiva dancing. The final, not final annihilation, that is just this universe. Now, with Markandeya Rishi, when he sees the Lord, he asks for a very strange benediction. He wants to see Maya. And what happens to him? He gets into the water of annihilation for billions of years, the whole night of Brahma. And finally, he comes to Krishna. He sees Krishna on a lotus leaf, sucking his toe. So the lesson here is don't ask to see Maya. Don't do it. Chapter 9. With great difficulty, Markandeya moves about all alone in the water of devastation for a long time, until he comes upon a banyan tree. Lying upon a leaf of that tree is an infant glowing with charming effulgence. That child is Lord Hari. Right. Now the last part is Srimad Bhagavatam, glories. And how to study Bhagavatam is there. In the last chapter, verse 18, that you should hear, Shinvan, Supatan, chant, Vicharana Paro, be introspective, try to think about it, with devotion, bhaktya. And the last verse of Bhagavatam is about chanting the holy name, Nama Sankirtan Yasya. I offer my respectful obeisance to the Supreme Lord Hari, congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions and offering obeisance unto whom relieves all material suffering. So this last verse is the connection to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhagavatam ends and Chaitanya Charitamrita begins. It ends with Harinam. So what lessons did we learn in Canto 12? Yeah. Very good. Okay, what else? Yes? Yeah. Chant Hare Krishna. Don't desire to see Maya. No, no. Don't ask, no. Don't ask. Otherwise, you'll be billions of years in annihilation, in the water swimming, drowning, half drowning. Okay, any other lessons? Let me check here. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Okay, so we'll stop here. If anybody wants, everything's in this book. You can get it afterwards here at the table. We also have Bhagavad Gita, picture for every verse. And then we have a whole set of Bhagavatam, picture for every verse. Now, any questions you can ask at this point? You have a question? No. Okay. Jai, Glory Shri Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Okay. Prabhupada pastime. I was doing Mangalarti in Calcutta as Pujari. Right behind me, 4 inches behind, was Srila Prabhupada. I turned around to offer the ghee lamp, and I said, I was thinking, what should I offer it to him like this, or do arti, or what should I do? So I think I did a really fast arti, and then I gave it to him. And then whole Mangalarti, I was very attentive. He was watching me. And after that, I thought, well, I should do all my service like that. That Prabhupada is standing behind watching me do my service. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Facebook? Yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, class is over. Hare Krishna. If you want some books, you can come over here.
Hare Krishna. So we were fortunate to have the session yesterday and today. So would request any of the devotee, Mataji or Prabhuji, to talk about their realization or what it inspired from Mataji's class. Somebody would like to come forward and talk about how Mataji's session inspired them?
Hare Krishna. I would like to thank you and Dandot Pranam to Mataji for wonderful seminars. There are lessons which we got from this particular seminars, like we always protect ourselves from the Vaishnava aparadhs, and what is the qualification of hearing the Bhagavatam, and so many lessons even from every chapter by chapter from cantos, every cantos we got. That is important, and that's important lessons we got from these seminars. Hare Krishna.
So thank you everyone for joining the session. So once again, we have the opportunity on 7th and 8th, we have Bhagavad Gita at a glance by Mataji, 7:30 to 9. So request everyone to come. You want to speak, Mataji?
Just one thing I would like to say. Thank you, Mataji, for this session. Actually, I was just thinking, and I felt like I got bits and pieces of some rasgulla, some gulab jamun, and all kinds of sweets. And now I feel more like I feel really to start reading the Bhagavatam seriously. Because I want the full, rasgulla and the full gulab jamun. So it was really very nice session, Mataji. Now I've made up a mind that I will start regularly reading the Bhagavatam, which I'm kind of reading in bits and pieces because Mataji is taking some of the prayers, but seriously need to start reading regularly. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving that inspiration. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Actually, I am reading Bhagavatam and I am in Canto 5. So I always read and I just forgot what I read and actually what is going on. So at least now, because of Mataji, I have now got the zest of what is actually going on. Now, definitely I am going to speed up my endeavors to complete the Bhagavatam and definitely I am going to take this at a glance. It's a wonderful thing. Actually, we don't know. Actually, we read Bhagavatam, we hear, but we, in bits of pieces, what is going on, what Vyasdevi is saying, what is actually. So this is very difficult, 18,000 shlokas. And Mataji has made it so simple for us. So it's amazing. And that's it. I don't have any words. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So everyone can take advantage of taking the book and getting signature from Mataji. So whoever have taken, we thank them, and whoever wants to take, they can take now. And then again, next week we have 7th and 8th, where we can come and take Bhagavad Gita. 8th and 9th, sorry. Okay. 7:30. We can assemble at 7, and Mataji will start at 7:30. Prabhuji, you want to share something? Ganga Prasad Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Want to say something?
Actually, we are very fortunate. Mataji is actually, we have heard about Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti, so many Bhakti Vedanta. And actually, all these courses, the pioneer is Mataji. In VIHE, Mataji started, and from that, so many teachers were created. And so many teachers started teaching. So we are very fortunate that we got Mataji's association. And today also I was just going on asking Mataji so many things. So she was